We're here today to talk about the fall season of anime. There are, of course, 4 distinct seasons of anime across the year, and this one has some big, heavy-hitting returners. We have One Punch Man Season 3, a lot of potential controversy around that. The very final season of My Hero Academia ever. The end of an era is truly upon us. Spy Family, as well as a bunch of very interesting, maybe left of center shows, which might just be something different that we're really excited about. So we're here to talk about fall. Well, hello, and welcome back to Gateway to Anime. How are you all? What's going on? We are the podcast where we bring you the best new anime as well as deep dive into the classics. I am your host, Sam, and I am joined by my sister, Charlie and Graham. Charlie, firstly, how are you?
Good. Excited for some new anime. New season, new me. It's going to shake things up.
Check
the fall season.
Very good. That's one of our strongest openings yet.
Real concise.
Real good stuff there. Graham, how are you, my friend?
I'm well. I've returned.
He's back.
Pretenders have been in this spot. Good, yeah.
Good. Welcome back. Graham has been away, and obviously we've had some wonderful guests filling his spot despite his protestations against them.
Just ask that they don't get a chair and they have to sit on the floor. Is it too much to ask?
Now, before we dive into this episode, I just want to thank this episode's sponsor, Hobbyco, Australia's oldest hobby store. They take their fun seriously, and we'll be back to tell you more about them later in the episode. Thanks again for sponsoring. So obviously, anime is split into 4 seasons every year, and we are about to talk about the fall season and a little quick roundup of summer season just gone. This is, of course, Northern Hemisphere seasons. So, quickly, guys, what was your favorite of summer season just gone?
Oh, the summer Hikaru died.
Agreed.
Oh, okay.
Absolute
let's go with the
classic. Everyone needs to go and watch that on Netflix right now. A show that absolutely blew my mind. It was one I was most excited for, and it did not disappoint. I think it's a classic. I think it's actually a classic. It's a psychological thriller. I don't want to give away too much. You'll kind of know what you're in for in the first 5 minutes. It kind of gives the
5 seconds, really.
tone of the show, and you're like, oh boy, we're in. Really blew my mind. I think it's one of the most stylishly directed animes that had happened in the last 10 years. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I think it's doing something very different. It's totally not what you expect. Again, we've talked a lot on this show about how horror anime isn't the genre you might think it is, despite Japanese live action horror being such a massive field, especially for film buffs. But horror anime, not such a big thing, but this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It really utilizes its context very well. Summer, and if anyone is a fan of Neon Genesis Evangelion, with that soundscape and the cicadas. It's also a great coming-of-age story, a very interesting queer story. I think it's one of the most interesting things I've seen in a very long time, and I think it's been criminally under-talked about in the community this season outside of very niche places. So.
Yeah, it's like Mishishi meets Neon Genesis meets The Thing. That's how I would describe this show.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Other one for me that I think is interesting is To Be Hero X. I think it's fucking so good. I love it. Obviously, it's Chinese, but with a lot of Japanese influence. I actually was reading something recently that it's not actually that massive in China because a lot of people in China aren't a big fan of how much Japanese production has been brought to it. And I'm also watching The Lord of Mysteries, which thank you to someone shouting out on last chat. Let me say Lord of Mysteries. What the fuck's happening? That's the most confusing shit I've ever seen in my life. Beautiful animation, stunning, interesting world, but makes no fucking sense because it's the most confusing thing ever. An amount of comments I see on Reddit of people being like, well, after the 3rd episode, it starts to make a lot more sense. No, it doesn't. It makes less sense. So
are you for it or against it? I'm confused.
To Be Hero X, love. Lord of Mysteries.
Garbage?
No, it's not garbage, but it's just so confusing.
You just got really worked up there. I'm like, he likes it. Oh, no, he doesn't like it.
Love To Be Hero X. I think To Be Hero X is so fantastic, and I really think you're all missing out because it is so cool.
The first call was so popular, though. It was
then
huge.
It fell off.
I fell off because, I thought the pacing was off in that show.
Well, it's vignettes. So every single...
I got time for a vignette.
Every single hero in the... So I've talked about this before. The top 10 heroes are about to have, in Season 2, a tournament. Every 3 years, a tournament happens to decide who will be X, number one.
Wow.
So they're all about to fight. But season 1 was like 3 to 4 episodes on each of the top 10 heroes and their stories, right? So some seasons were some like little vignettes, some 3-episode arcs were weaker than others, which is why a lot of people fell off. But for me, when it hit brilliant. I think it's a wonderful world build. I think it's a really interesting look at the superhero genre world, which is a show that will be coming up again soon this season, which we'll talk about shortly.
It's just such a
it's really cool.
saturated thing now.
It
There's
is,
just
but this
so
does it well.
many deconstructions of superhero worlds and like different.
That's true.
You know, I even like, and I used to love it because, but even The Boys disappointed me in that. Like in that
The last
way.
season of The Boys was dreadful.
Yeah, I kind of resent myself to them, but it's sort of a weird like it's a genre I think that I've got fatigue for. So I think I'm probably being a bit unfair on Superhero X.
I think it's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely loving it. Obviously, Dan to Dan, of course.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
Of course it would be.
Yep, yeah.
I get to watch a giant snake at one point, and then I get to watch Beethoven get kicked in the face. Like, what are you talking about? Your psychological thrillers, like it's Mozart coming at you. Like, that's what we want. Like,
That is true. Dan to Dan's obviously doing what it does very, very well.
Kaiju number 8.
Catch number 8 doing what it does very well. Ticks down the page.
is it doing it what it does very well though?
Well, you're a manga
I don't
reader, so
know.
you know better.
No,
Not a fan of
Soft
it.
is great.
You're not a fan of the adaptation, are you?
I just think the anime's crap. Like, I
Interesting.
just think it's just so like when you compare it to like Hero X and look, I'm assuming there's a budgetary thing and that, but I just think the adaptation's weak.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't mind the animation itself. It's the character design.
Character
That's like what they've taken from the manga. Like, when I look at the comparisons, I'm like, I wonder why they went that direction.
Yeah.
But like, I'm still enjoying it. It's still ticking my boxes for like.
I still like
You know,
it.
I like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
characters.
I wish it was like. I wish there was like a little step up.
Yeah.
I would also quickly
my main
say Gachi Akuta has been kind of disappointing, if I'm being honest. It's okay. Like, it's fine. It's one of those things where I'm always like, oh yeah, I forgot to watch Gachi Akuta this week. Shit. And then I've got like 2 episodes. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't watch it for 2 weeks. You know, like, and then I watch it. I'm like, well, that was fine. And then I forget. You know, like,
There's a show that was hugely talked about that none of us watched, and I think it's because I didn't want to watch it. Topoki Original Sin.
Topoki's Original Sin, yes.
Apparently, obviously, people are saying it's like a masterpiece in many ways, but I actually just don't. I don't think I can handle it. It sounds too bleak and too dark for me right now, so I kind of been avoiding it deliberately. But just so you know, we haven't like it hasn't been lost on us. We're aware that everyone's talking about.
We're all
that
just
show.
not in the right state of mind for it right now.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
the world is, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's pretty brutal, and I don't know about like sometimes I'm like, is it just kind of getting to that point of like just doing it for the sake? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Haven't watched it, yeah.
So I can't comment, but that's a reason why we haven't talked about it. If people are kind of being like, why are they talking about the one that people were like
favorite show
saying
of
was
all
incredible? People are saying it's good, but I think it's like one of those things where I was like, no one wants to watch it again. Like it's a horrible slog.
Yeah. For those, it's about a child growing up in very, very, very difficult circumstances. So,
The kid in Digimon, the movie.
actually, yes. Kind of, yes.
Not the original Digimon the movie, just so people.
Not the
are aware.
original.
That
but
kid's
the-
fine.
That kid's totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the latest
Wait.
Digimon movie we saw, were like, what the hell? Like, it was tonally very.
I feel that's when the world got a lot darker. Like, I feel like that was like
Took a left hand. We were not expecting
will
it.
a
never
real turning
forget.
point happened in the psyche
I'll
of the
never
world.
forget. I was like, I couldn't make the screening. These guys like, well, how was the Digimon movie? And just the response I got, I was like, wasn't expecting that.
Dude,
Apparently, it's a heavy hitting film.
one of my favorite comments of anyone in history of my life was us watching this, like, what we thought was Digimon. And all of a sudden, he'd been like, what the hell's this sequence? And Graham next to me just goes, is this fucking Digimon? Like, in the middle of a screening. And I was like, I don't know, dude. Anyway, we digress. Topoki's Original Sin, though, apparently fantastic, very heavy hitting, very intense, but like from all accounts, very, very good. Dr. Stone, still going, and I'm still enjoying it. So,
Still going, you don't say.
it never ends, Graham. And if there's what everyone's like, oh gee, it takes production studios so long to do a second or a third season. Not Dr. Stone, like clock. You said you watched that shit. TMS are bringing it out every fucking
Rapid
6
style.
months. Anyway, speaking of things that are coming back for this next season of fall anime, we have one which we have not seen for 6 years.
It's been 6 years.
And the first season, 10 years. So we're going to have a video out about this. If you want to catch up about what the show's all about, outside of watching this little snippet of this podcast, we are, of course, talking about One Punch Man Season 3. Now, this is very interesting because we have a show which 10 years ago was, I would say, along with maybe the first season of Attack on Titan, the first real show in the modern era of bridging the anime gap, right? One Punch Man Season 1 did something so special, so different. People who were not anime fans, and this is before like Crunchyroll was really a thing that people had subscriptions to. We're talking like sort of peak pirate days, early days of Anime Lab, like of streaming anime in general. It was not on Netflix, and if it was like tiny little things here and there. So for One Punch Man to do what it did, and AOT Season 1, was pretty extraordinary. And it's because the animation was just...
stellar.
I mean, still to this day, it's some of the best animation we've ever seen, right? Yeah. And it's funny. It's like Mob Psycho, of course, one of your favorite shows, if not your favorite show of all time. Probably. Same writer. His moniker is One. Funny that. But it started off as a really sort of dinky webcomic, which the author used to practice drawing. That's how, and it was such a very, very simplistic.
It was awful, to be fair.
I mean, like, it's not good art, right? Yeah. But it had a distinct charm and energy and humor to it. And it led a mangaka from iShield 21 fame, which is a gridiron American football anime manga.
I actually really love that.
His name is Yusuke Murata, and Murata is one of the best mangakas out there, right? And him and One did a few one-shots together, started working together because he was just such a fan of like this world and this concept. And then he asked One if he could do a retelling of the manga but with him illustrating, which is what most people will recognize as the manga of One Punch Man. And Murata's art style is exquisite. It's just stunning. And that was what the first season was at Madhouse, one of the famous animation studios of all time. And a guy who at the time, actually, funnily enough, was not a super famous mangaka or anime director, but his name is Shingo Natsume, who has now he did Sunny Boy. That was his kind of thing that he did a little bit later on. But Shingo Natsume loved the source material, and he was at Madhouse, and he pulled every favor he could possibly imagine and brought in the best of the best of the best of the best that the anime industry has to offer. So the reason One Punch Man Season 1 looks so fantastic is because it was bottled lightning, okay? He had a passion project at a huge studio with a director who had pull in the industry and utilized that pull to bring in some of the best people. I'm talking Arifumi Imai, who did the Beast Titan sequence and pretty much all the 3D maneuver gear sequences in Attack on Titan. He would like solo animate, like for example, everyone probably remembers the Genos versus Saitama training battle. Yep. He did that whole thing himself, right? So like, that's the level that we had for One Punch Man Season 1. It blew everyone's minds. It's funny, it's interesting, it's cool. It's like, it subverts your expectation. It's genre pastiche at every single way. Actually laugh out loud. Funny.
Yeah.
Tells a story which is like, it's in the name. The guy punches something once and it dies. Like he's that powerful. And that's the joke over and over and over. But somehow they still make it interesting. Season 2 went to a different production studio called JC Staff. Anyone who knows anything about anime knows that these guys make a lot of isekai. They are a bit of a churn and burn studio. And as a result, the second season, wasn't great.
No.
Wasn't great. Didn't look great. It wasn't I think it got a little bit unfairly maligned.
I think people would, it's not that bad. Like it's not
that bad.
It's not that bad at all.
It's not that bad. But compared
comparatively
to the like unicorn of season 1, of course, once you've got fans' expectations up here and you deliver something down here, people are going to get upset. Now, it's interesting because JC Staff are doing season 3 and the director he's literally pleading with people online as we speak, saying, hey guys, don't expect season 1. We can't do that, but like give us a chance anyway. So this is going to be interesting to see how it goes down. This director also was announced very late in the game, and his most prominent works before this, they were hentai. So we've yes. So
That's not that uncommon for.
It's not uncommon. Look, that might sound worse than it is.
Yeah,
but
because I'm like, there's probably some like fire hentai animation out there.
There's probably some.
I don't know. I'm not across hentai.
What's the One Punch Man equivalent animation of hentai?
Maybe that's him. Who knows? I haven't looked that deep into it.
Let us know.
For the more degenerate fans out there, let us know.
He could be the guy.
He could be. And look, I don't know. I don't have high hopes. They're covering the Monster Association arc. I'm going to give it a chance. I don't think... I feel like people who are like gearing themselves up, like just like going like... warming up the fingers just to attack animators and scream at them for not doing good work. It's like, don't do that, man.
Give it a
shot. It's
shot.
not their fault. Give it a shot. The production committee, if anyone's to blame if it doesn't go well.
Just that last one, like things will have evolved to a point anyway. Like
let's see, people.
People can't wait to head on this one. I kind of hope it's the best. I hope it's just the greatest thing that has ever happened.
That'd be great. I'd love that. But it's a great story. It's a classic.
I hope it's a hentai as well. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Really shocked.
Genos and Saitama, it's a BL story now.
Can't wait.
But before we go any further, I think we should thank today's sponsor, which of course is Hobbyco.
Hobbyco is one of Australia's most nostalgic and trusted hobby retailers. Whether it's Gunpla kits, anime figures, jigsaw puzzles, craft supplies for your D&D campaign, model trains or Lego, the breadth of range is extraordinary. It is the largest hobby store in Australia and the go-to destination for newbies, enthusiasts and hardcore collectors alike. If you're in Sydney, you can head into any of their 5 locations across the city, but if you're interstate or overseas, head to their website to satisfy all your hobby needs.
Thanks so much for Hobbyco for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back into it.
A lot of returners this season. A lot of returners. We've got Spy Family.
Yep.
Season 3 coming back.
Studios and Cloverworks are back.
They're back.
So we know one thing about Spy Family is always going to look incredible.
Yes.
It's going to have a great soundtrack. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really cute. I fell off personally.
I think
Me
a lot
too.
of people did, right?
I did.
Yeah, I just I think I needed something more from it. And maybe I think I preferred the espionage stuff to and I kind of wanted more of that. And I don't know. Yeah, to me it just didn't, it was like too split.
Do you know when I fell off? Was actually when they had that big arc where it focused exclusively on Anya. I
Can't
was,
do that,
and I
like-
was like, she's a side character. She
Incredible
works
support,
perfectly as a support
incredible
character.
support,
but when it
yeah.
was like all her story, I was like, this, what the hell? I don't care about this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know, call me heartless, but I was just like,
What
what?
the will they, won't they of the assassin and the spy?
Where's the Cold War story? You know what
know,
I mean?
with the-
Like, it's a really funny character in small doses, and like a kid who can read minds, and like the dog who can see the future.
Yeah.
And only she can see the future through the dog. She can read the dog's mind. I mean, come on, that's gold.
Yeah.
But like, not when it's a full focus. So those of you who like it, great. I understand why it's a big
I can
thing.
see it being a great comfort show and also one that would be really good to watch if you have kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a
Very
kid-friendly
true.
show.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, it is a kid-friendly show.
Yeah, with enough sort of like meat
Adult stuff for you
to keep you involved
and
and
the
like.
kids. I think that's a good one. That I think a lot of it's actually a good gateway anime for people too.
I actually still enjoy reading the manga. Like I still,
Yeah.
really
again, it is
funny.
quite comforting, and I like the Eastern sort of
Well, yeah, and the sort of Cold War-y type.
Cold War
yeah.
type backstory, but they're all ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
it's comforting.
Also, To Your Eternity, season 3.
I completely missed season 2. This is very surprising to me.
I loved it. Yeah, I'm still
Okay.
on. I'm still on it. I've been on it the whole time. I think it's great. It definitely like one of those shows that has such a strong pilot, like one of the best pilots
it's
in
great.
all anime, I think. The first season is its strongest. The second season a little bit weaker, but I'm still watching it. I still really enjoy it. I think it's a really interesting concept. Like for those of you who don't know, an orb is sent down to Earth and it can like mimic and basically it becomes a rock for ages, like thousands of years. It absorbs what it touches, and then like a wolf in the tundra basically falls next to it and dies, and then it assumes the wolf, it becomes a wolf. Then it like meets this kid who's like living in this like very, very desolate kind of isolated community on his own. I think the rest of the community have gone off to try and like seek help. This really tragic backstory, and then like the orb then becomes him, and then like travels through eternity, unable to die, and able to turn into whatever he has absorbed. So once he's absorbed, he can always turn back into the wolf. He can turn into the kid. He meets all, can turn into all these different things, and meets all these people and tells these sort of ephemeral stories over the course of history. He's fighting a great evil, which is what the reason he's been brought down to Earth is to fight this kind of like almost like probably an allegory for sort of climate change type thing. It's like or nature enemy that he has to fight called the Knockers. I think it's a really good show. I'm really excited for it. It's actually now set in modern time. Very cool. Very cool. That's great fun. My Hero Academia's final ever season.
Is this like, are they too cool though? Is it going to end like next?
I'm not
Or is
sure.
it this? Because I always get suckered by that shit. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's 3
surely it's a
movies.
20. Surely it's not 12 episodes. Surely.
How are they going to
really-
stretch this out for another 4 years? Is what we're asking.
Yeah. Look, this is a huge deal. Even if it is the first core of the last. Like it's as much hate as my, and I think it's just, it suffers from the same fate that I said about To Be Hero X, like, and also my One Punch Man, I would say, really started in the height of when that like. What if we took a closer look at superheroes, like, like deconstruction of a
Boys,
genre? Like, this was one of the first ones to, not the first ever, obviously it's been going for many, many years, but one of the like first in this kind of new generation of it to like really hit that whole storyline. And that was like a massive thing. It is kind of the same plot line to that movie Sky High, which I was thinking about the other
It
day,
is actually,
which is
yeah.
actually a banger
Is
of a
it
movie.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah,
love that
great movie. Anyway, I was here the other day. I was like, remember Sky High? I think, but I have a lot of time for My Hero Academia. I know people it's like very cool
too.
to hate on it, but there's been some great moments. It goes up and down though. And I think they had a pretty strong last season, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Few.
Yeah, look, I think it's been pretty
It
good.
gets so much fun.
It had one bad season or a core, and like people just turned on it. Like, oh look, the fandom give it a bad name. There's a whole bunch of like weird shipping stuff in the fandom, which like got real toxic back in years ago. Look, again, I think it's one of the classic modern shonens. We're gonna do a full episode about this, so we won't dive too deep into this now. But yeah, end of an era. I think it's a modern classic, a modern shonen classic. Anyway,
It's just like regardless what you think about it, it has had a huge impact.
Massive.
It will be interesting to see how it all. I think it's got a bit of a controversial ending actually. From
believe
the
so,
manga,
yeah.
So I'm interested
Don't
to
say
see.
all though.
We say that, yeah. Honestly, has anyone ever been like good ending other than Full Metal
Metal
Alchemist?
Alchemist Brotherhood.
Like,
yeah.
there's always people who are upset about
Yeah.
it. Namely us, furious.
yes.
Namely Sam, upset about the ending.
The
of
rest of
manga.
us are getting on with life.
I mean,
Dude, people are
Sounds
upset about
fuming.
seriously. Like, I can't think of a modern day shonen that has ended. People have been like strong. Like Jujutsu
Yeah.
Kaisen, Demon Slayer. All of them have got heaps of.
controversy.
And I know nothing about the ending because I'm an anime only. So can't wait to be disappointed bitterly.
One of my personal favorites is coming back for season 6, and that is Kingdom. Kingdom is so good, dude. If you push through that first 2 seasons, where it literally looks like
You were just saying earlier on when someone was like, you just got to give through the first
Yeah,
3
you're like,
episodes.
3
You're
episodes.
No time for that.
well,
2 seasons?
look, here's the problem, right? You can also read the manga.
Just read the manga.
The manga's extraordinary. Like the manga's actually, it's in the top 10 mangas
Yeah.
of all time.
No, it looks
Highest selling
incredible.
mangas of all time. Problem is the
Now's
first.
the best time because they've just officially started releasing English.
They've nev-
Official English releases.
It's been a hard one to find in the West, right?
Yeah.
Because there was all fan translations up until very
I've read
recently.
that manga so many times with different, like the characters' names are
Names
just
all
different. And I'm
change.
just like, who the fuck's this guy? Like,
Yeah, man.
So now's the time.
No, it's if you really want to look at, I would say maybe start reading it till you get to season 3 in the anime, and then turn to the anime if you want to watch anime. Because honestly, that first season in particular, it took me 3 times to get through it.
That came out
Oh.
decade ago.
Oh yeah,
right?
at least
Like,
yeah.
We're up to season 6, so yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been going for a while, and it's got no. There's no end in sight for the manga either. It's the warring dynasty period, of Chinese history. Fascinating, great military stuff. I think it's great characters. I love it. So I'm super stoked, and I all I say is I'm so glad that I pushed through those first 2 seasons of the anime. It's one of my favorites of all time. I love the story so much. It's very me coded, like historical war story. Ticks down the page. All right, some new stuff.
No, well, another returning I will mention is Ranma Half. It's coming back for season 2 on Netflix. Such a pleasant surprise that like so it's a remake of a very classic manga anime series from the 80s, which when it was announced, we had an episode where I talked about it. I was like, this seems like a terrible idea because it's very much like old school, bawdy, like raunchy rom-com body swap teen, like it's kind of giving like you shouldn't work. And a lot of it is like slapstick comedy of like people punching each other in the face kind of thing. Like
Yes.
for some reason it fully like this is a great adaptation. It's Mappa. It's incredibly well done. It's great. There's the animation, the fight sequences are actually incredible because it's all set at a martial arts school and you kind of forget that. So for some reason I can forgive them all punching each other in the face because I'm like, they're all martial artists, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not domestic
also
violence
one's a
at all.
giant
Yeah.
panda, like it's all good. For those of you who don't know, the storyline of Ranma Half follows the story of a girl who lives at like a martial arts school with her dad who runs it, and his friend turns up one day with who's a panda all of a sudden because him and his son, I'm telling a worse synopsis. Basically, Ranma and his dad fall into, they're in this like, like magical training place. There's all these different pools and they're having a fight over them. And if you fall into the pool, you get cursed with whatever that is. So whenever he gets wet, he turns into a girl. Whenever his dad gets wet, he turns into a panda. So it's like hot water, cold water. I'm pretty certain to turn them back into. So it's a lot of like, if it rains, he suddenly becomes a girl. It's honestly fucking hilarious and really well done. And I was not expecting to like it, but it's really well. The romance is great. There's some actual really, really interesting gender stuff in there that's not what I expected. Does it have its problems? Yeah, absolutely. But like I was surprised at how much it wasn't it wasn't that bad as I remembered it to be when I was younger watching it, the 80s version. But it's very nostalgic and the adaptation was done with a lot of care. So I am looking forward to this season for sure. I'll be watching.
And quickly, shout out for latest seasons of Dan to Dan. We've got the reference right there with the hot and cold water turning someone into something. There's a big old reference right there in Dan to Dan from Ranma Half. So there you go.
It's so famous. Such a famous series. Like
it's one of the most seminal classics.
Yeah.
Like Huge 80s. Yeah.
Same mangaka who did Inuyasha and Urusei
Yatsura.
Yatsura, yeah.
Gray.
Let me just read the synopsis from this. Like, I don't know if the show will be good, but the synopsis the end of it just was like, what are we doing right now? In the year 2080, the proportion of children in Japan's population will be just 0.1%. The youngest members of this shrinking society are guarded like treasures. 14-year-old Kazushige Sanda leads a sheltered life, at least until his classmate Sori asks him to admit one thing, that he is Santa Claus reborn.
Okay, so that I thought it was going to go somewhere worse than that, to be honest with you. I'm relieved that...
Yeah, that's actually not so bad.
I was reading this synopsis for like the Child of Men movie. And I was like, that's a Child of Men movie. And it was like, admit it, you're Santa Claus. I was just like, he should use his superpowers to help find the missing best friend, stuff like that. So, yeah.
All he has to do is put on a red sweater to transform into his true form.
I mean,
Wait,
sometimes
I mean,
anime...
Santa Claus is OP. Someone was saying this. Like, if we had to believe the lore of Santa, that one man can get around to how many houses and down a chimney and up.
Billions.
Like, he's fucking crazy. Like, he is OP as fuck.
OP as hell.
He's so fast and he's strong. So actually, I think that if someone was Santa
trained
Claus...
feral reindeer too.
Yeah, no, like he's got
It's a steed.
He's got a whole like
He's
workshop
immortal.
of
elves.
And elves have
can
crazy power. They
Make
can
anything.
No, like you don't want Santa. There's a movie called
You
Santa
don't want to get
Slay.
on his naughty list, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
There's a movie called Santa Slay where he kills everyone.
Good.
I will be watching that.
So will I.
Like, I'm sorry, that
That's
shot straight to the top of my list. What the fuck?
It's just that twist at the end. 'Cause I'm like, oh yeah, Child of Man is going to be like, why are the children not being born and blah blah, and there'll be a sacred child that's born. No, it's about Santa Claus who's been reborn.
What I
we're
love
here for
is
it.
like, why are is it because Santa Claus is out of work because there's not many kids?
I guess so.
Or has Santa disappeared and has been reborn as this guy?
And the reason for kids is Santa?
So Santa Claus is
I don't know how
fix the world.
like column A, column B there didn't quite fit. It was like they had two ideas at once.
Yeah,
And I'm
I'm fine
interested
with
to
that.
see how that works.
Santa Claus is going to get to the bottom of why those children aren't being born. Like that's what it's going to be.
It's about damn time.
It's damn time, I tell you. So yeah, let's watch that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I feel like the vibe when we were about to record this episode, we were all kind of like, you know what, maybe not the best season. That was the vibe we got.
That
Like,
was. We always do this.
But then I kept on researching, and I was like,
Thanks, Charlie.
I don't want to say like, you know,
You saved Christmas.
I did. I am in fact Santa Claus. No, I don't want to like call it too quickly, but I actually think this could be like the season of Charlie. Like I reckon
I
this
can see
could
that.
be
The season of Charlie.
Yeah, so like weird that it's called fall because it could also be like the fall of Charlie. Like I said the wrong thing.
More accurate.
Oh no!
Right.
But what I noticed is I was going through and I was like, okay, you know me, I love a good like seinen, josei, like romance, kind of like slice of life. But my main complaint is I'm always just like, God, I wish they weren't all set in high school because I don't really relate to high schoolers anymore. Shocking, I know I look 17, but I'm not. But I
you
was
look
like,
17?
yep, 17 years old.
Is that what everyone says?
17, going on,
Is that the,
going on 15. So I, that was weird. I think that basically I noticed that there was a lot of stories that are being told about like adults in the workplace. And I was like,
We know
great.
Charlie loves-
We're combining my two interests, which is
Adults.
Adults in
And
workplaces.
Workplaces.
I love it.
You hate workplaces.
But I do hate workplaces too. Facts. But what I will say is before, this is actually not one. I'm about to read one that's nothing to do with that, so I don't know why I did that. But one thing I also will say
Segue.
is there is also like a trend. You know, we talk about like every isekai ever is like blah, blah, blah. The equivalent of that for the shoujo scene or the manhwa scene or any of like webcomic is like someone being a villainess. You know, like waking up in a novel and it's like, turns out I'm the evil baroness who's like, I've got to stop everyone before they die. And like, I eat that shit up. I've read like every single one of them. They're all the
Can't do
most
it.
like boring shit ever. Like, I'm like, okay. And now animes are I read them all when they were like when they were comics, manhwas, and mangas. But now they're all anime adaptations. But this one sounds good. And it's not a reincarnation story. But I actually was like, this is going to tick all my boxes.
All right.
But the same animation studio who did Tokyo Revengers, but also Berserk through 2016. So I was like, we've got to.
Lead in films, right?
But yeah. Are they not?
Lead in films? They're not good.
I mean, Tokyo Revengers is all right, animation-wise.
Animation-wise,
People
it's
love that
fine.
show.
Yeah, no, they're all wrong.
I
Then
stand Legion
Berserk
films.
2016 though. Like,
They were great. Okay. So this is called May I Ask One Final Thing? Synopsis is, in the middle of a ball, Scarlett's fiancé, Kyle, suddenly calls off their engagement. She's falsely accused of being a bully and people unfairly call her a villainess. Gotta get it in there somewhere. The aristocrats and noble families all denounce her. For years, she had to put up with his abuse and idiocy, but she can't take any more of it. At her wit's end, she asks for one last favour, to give him a good fist in the face. So begins Scarlett's story of revenge against Kyle and his cronies, a fantasy about an elegant yet rebellious fighter who doesn't let anyone take advantage of her. I think that sounds sick.
Hold on.
that sounds like a delusional bully. Like,
No,
you're a
she's-
bully, and I'm going to prove I'm not a bully by being
Bullying
a
the
bully.
shit out of you.
She's like, fuck this, I've been demure. And she's like, I'm going to be a delinquent in this like fantasy aristocratic
The
world.
villain gets more villainous. Like,
Sounds good. No, he's abusive. She's wrongly accused.
So this is one
I
of
don't
the
know.
good ones?
yeah.
This sounds sick. What are you talking about? Look at this shit. She's like in a fighting pose. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm really starved for anyone. I reckon that sounds funny.
Okay.
Probably not. Okay.
The Crunchyroll Award goes to... I told you!
Genuinely think that looks pretty good. This other one that I thought looked good is, and this is not a romance. I can't believe I did that whole spiel. I didn't read out a single one of the Office romances. This was
good.
a Madhouse
Okay,
production.
we're onto something here.
And Cyclone Graphics, it's a co-product. So this one is called One Dance.
This looks cool.
And it's what I gather. We couldn't decide based on the art. Me and Graham were staring. I was like, do you think it's breakdancing?
feel like
It
it's
looks like
breakdancing.
it could be like street dance or
It's going to be like flamenco or some shit. isn't
That'd
it,
be
when it comes
lit.
out?
Kabuki Katani is starting high school and he plans to do what he always has done. Go along with his friends, keep quiet and not draw too much attention to himself. After all, it's hard enough to get by with a stutter like his. Why make things worse by standing out from the crowd? But then he sees another first year, Hikari Wanda, dancing like no one is watching or like she doesn't care who sees her. It makes Kabuki wonder, could he reach that same freedom to find his way to Wanda? He does something he never thought he could. He joins the dance club. After all, every routine begins with a single step, right? Honestly, in.
You're in?
Yeah, it's giving like, apparently it's like it's a sports like style,
So like dance
club.
dancer.
But it's like, yeah, that was not that good. This is like a dance, like it's giving like sport club, like it's giving
Medalist?
high Q. Medalist was so good, very different though, but similar vibe, and I think the animation looks good, and I'm excited for that.
Okay,
one.
you know what?
It's Madhouse.
You know I love a sport. You know I love a sports show.
Yeah, you loved breakdancing. I know that from your childhood. So,
Okay,
sorry,
well, no need for
Sam,
that.
Sam and Raygun.
The early 2000s was a different time. Okay.
Elaborate.
We don't need to elaborate on this.
Did you carry around cardboard?
I wasn't that intense, but
Listen to this.
tune
So,
into Patreon
Yeah, Jim's
for Sam to do a breakdancing.
for me to
routine.
break dance for you all.
spinning on your head on the table. Like,
I can still bust a 6-step out if I had to.
oh, wow, I don't
Tune into
know.
Patreon for a 6-step and a chair freeze.
No one knows what that is.
You better join up for as little as $3.
Yeah, Sam will bust a move.
But Sam, the genre is sports, and the themes are performing arts, and the demographic is seinen.
Well-
So, like, obviously, you're gonna
Did
watch
you write
that.
this?
We found you found my
He also
manuscript.
plays cricket on the weekends. Like, wait a minute.
My manuscript got picked up by Madhouse.
There's a couple. Have you got another one, Sam?
Yes, I do. It is. This is a sci-fi seinen slice of life
Great.
called Shumatsu Touring. All alone at the end of days, two girls bike through the empty ruins of Japan, and they're not about to let the collapse of civilization get in the way of sightseeing. Even when the world ends, their journey goes on. So it's actually called Riding a Motorbike at the End of the World. It could actually be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It could actually be quite nice and beautiful. I'm guessing very whimsical, perhaps very reflective of society and what happens at the end and the beauty and horror of modernity. I'm thinking that could be quite an interesting contemplative show. So
This other one is crazy. This is an anime. I'm actually losing my mind right now. So Webtoon is the platform or like the app for manhwa mostly, but there's actually a lot of international authors that are on there.
Yeah.
So this is an anime adaptation of a Webtoon written by, I think she's Canadian or American author.
right.
So this is not the first time this has happened. There's been a couple of them, like they did True Beauty, which is also like which is a rom-com. This one's called Let's Play. And I read this. It was one of my first webtoons I read. And it's about this girl who is like like Sam Young is a developer in Los Angeles, American. Los Angeles is about to achieve her dreams with her first video game, Ruminate. That is until a popular streamer gives her game a scathing review. Even worse, Sam finds out the troublesome critic is now her new neighbor. Get lost in some comedic, romantic, and all too real story about gaming, memes, and social anxiety. Come for the plot, stay for the doggo. Very millennial. We love that. But it's it blew my mind because this was a hugely popular webtoon, like really popular. What's interesting about this is both True Beauty and webtoon and Let's Play are the two that have had these adaptations done. And the art style has been completely altered to be anime.
Really?
Like they look full shoujo, and it's just like funny to watch. Cause I actually prefer, you read something you prefer. It looks like a different show.
Okay.
It's very like they've taken the story. This one was wild though. I was like, it's set in LA. It's a fully Western piece, and they're just doing it. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. I don't know, but yeah, weird. Just weird that Let's Play is now an anime. Stoked for her, the author, and I know she was like one of her dreams, a huge anime fan. So one of her dreams was to have this. So
That's cool.
Pretty cool that you write like a comic that ends up being created by literally a Japanese anime.
Pretty a bit of transnationalism. You like that? Gray, you got anything else for this season you're excited about?
Probably what I just looked up here and just read the quick synopsis. So Tojima Tanzaban wants to be a mass rider.
Yes, the Kamen Rider.
Yeah, he wants to be a Kamen Rider. So he spent his entire life chasing a dream to become a Kamen Rider. Now at 40, ding ding ding, that's me. Reality has nearly caught up with him again, me. And he's on the verge of letting go of his childhood dream. That is until he gets caught up in a crime wave led by the fake Shocker gang, turning his lifelong dream into something far more dangerous. What starts as a pretend hero's journey quickly becomes something real. The ultimate Kamen Rider fantasy is about to begin.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of this. A lot of people are very excited about this.
It's an old manga, man.
Yeah.
It's like mid-90s, I think, came out. So
Because Kamen Rider as well, like such
Monstrous.
a massive IP, but one that didn't make it really into the West, which is also quite
I
interesting.
don't know, hit me hard as a 7-8-year-old.
Yeah?
Like Mass Rider on was the same sort of block as Power Rangers.
Interesting.
And he was the synopsis, like the version that we got in the West was he was an alien that was living with a family. And every so often he had to go fight the giant bug monster thing and transform into the Kamen Rider.
Yep.
Mass Rider.
Right.
So I have a lot of love for that. I
Interesting.
don't know much about the Kamen Rider or the original stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But the theme tune is sick if you look up the Mass Rider theme tune.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
Okay.
I would love to get into Kamen Rider. I just don't know where the hell you'd start. Like
Well, yeah, I've
Start right here, I guess.
start here
here.
with a deluded 40-year-old fantasy.
Perfect.
Give it.
I've got one that I think is going to really break some boundaries.
All right, here we go.
The dark history of the reincarnated villainess.
Oh, for
God's
God's sake.
sake, dude.
Two things I don't like already in one.
I just think this one sounds funny. Studio Dean.
Okay, so you're Dean. Yep, okay.
Kanahu Sato has a dark history. After all, she spent her teen years writing self-indulgent fantasy romance fics like her dark history.
So is this your manuscript that was picked up by
Studio
You guys
Dean.
don't tell me you're producing all these animes.
We've been writing. We're very busy in the background.
I was away for a month.
But since she's become its most despicable villainess, remembering every last detail is now a matter of life and death. Having avoided the first couple of death flags, Sato is suddenly left in the dark when a mysterious stranger returns from the Lily Kingdom, a character she doesn't recall writing in the original script. Although Yomi claims to be her ally, can Sato really trust a character who knows nothing about such a dangerous world?
Okay. That could be fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun to me.
Maybe it is the season of Charlie.
No, once I read out, I really don't want to be associated with this season anymore, except for the Santa Claus one.
Yeah, Santa Claus one actually looks Sander.
Anime of the year, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Calling it right now.
you're right now. But some of those office romance.
I didn't read out a single one, but there's like three. They're the same
You did a whole
storyline.
spiel about it,
It's
then
like
proceeded to
shy
tell no one
coworker,
anything.
and but I'm like, yeah, it looks good.
Well, anyway, yeah, that looks like that is fall.
be
Interesting.
good.
A lot
Could be bad.
of returners.
Yep.
And a lot of sort of like random, like Sander sounds like an interesting and original. The Kamen Rider one sounds like interesting and
A
original.
lot of like light novel adaptations or manga of like, most of them I was reading were light novels or manga adapted.
Some of them have titles that are longer than the synopsis on that list. I was just like, nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Hey, tell us what you're excited about. Tell us what you enjoyed about the summer season. If you like what we're doing, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Hopefully you're watching this video. If you are a podcast listener, please give us a 5-star review on Spotify or write a review on Apple Podcasts. It actually really does make a difference. And if you really like what we're doing, you can find us over on Patreon, where we do special releases, early releases, as well as behind the scenes footage. Charlie, Graham, thank you.
Thank you.
And enjoy the fall season, everybody.